What's up? This is Tom Froming from twinsdaily.com. I figure we'll take a big picture look at the Twins today. We're going to do a little segment I'm going to call 3 Up, 3 Down. Taking a look at some trends with this team. Three things that I've noticed in the big picture that are trending up that I'm really positive about. And then 3 things that are a bit of a concern. But as we can see here, the Twins are 9-2 to start this 2020 season. So it's going to take some digging to really be concerned about anything, especially in a year where 8 teams from the American League are going to make the postseason. Obviously, the higher you go, the better it is. So the Twins definitely want to finish with the best record as possible. But again, a plus 27 run differential also just you don't really need to know much more than that to know that things are going very, very good for the Twins right now. So let's start with that 3 up. And here's the first topic. So let's start out here. I have Kenta Maeda's baseball reference page pulled up, and he's off to a really great start, made a really good first impression with the Twins. One thing that's been especially nice to see, in my opinion, is a trend that's been over his whole career is he's struggled against left-handed hitters. You can see here, these are his career numbers for Maeda. They've posted a 757 OPS against Maeda lefties, compared to just a 590 OPS to same-sided hitters right-handed. But let's take a look at how he's done so far in 2020 with the Twins. He has dominated left-handed hitters so far. Scrolling down here, so you can see here, lefties are 2 for 21 in 23 plate appearances against Maeda. 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, a .269 OPS. Obviously, this is only 2 starts, but these teams are trying to stack their lineups with lefties against him, given those career splits. You can see he's faced more lefties than righties, and he's been awesome. So that is a huge development. I don't know if there's some more background. Maybe we'll take a look at his pitch mix or how effective his pitches have been in these situations where he's facing lefties. But that was really one of the things that forced him into, transitioning into more of a bullpen role. I think with the Dodgers, as their seasons have ended, they've moved him into the pen. And I think part of that is that he's struggled so much with lefties. So if that is a long-term trend we're going to see, that's extremely encouraging from Kenta Maeda. That's up number 1. Let's go to up number 2. And sticking with baseball reference here, Eddie Rosario. Much discussed plate discipline for Eddie Rosario over the last several years, and it's completely legit. Obviously, he's been a productive player despite kind of being a less disciplined hitter. But check out some of these numbers. His pitches for per plate appearances is going up from 3.51 last year to 3.83 this year. That's just a shade below league average. And also his walk rates compared to his strikeouts rates especially are going through the roof. But look at this. His walk rate went from 5.1 in 2018 to just 3.7 in 2019. It is 10% so far in 2020. And his strikeout rate is actually slightly down as well. So his strikeout to walk ratio has gone from 3.91, so almost 4 times as many strikeouts as walks, to 1.25, almost even. This is obviously a very small sample size. If you go look at the video, yes, Eddie Rosario is still swinging at pitches out of the zone, maybe just as much as usual, but the difference seems to be is he's fighting a lot of these pitches off. So he's making an adjustment mid-swing to at least make contact to foul the ball off, keep the plate appearance going, and then working some more walks, not swinging at complete trash and striking out. So if you really break down the film, you can go back and find a lot of bad pitches that Rosie's swinging at. I don't care if he's posting a 10% walk rate, improving up from 3.7 and fouling those pitches off. I mean, I don't know how you can find a way to not be super positive about that. So that's another big up for the Twins. Let's take a look at one more up. All right, now the third up, we're switching over to Fangraphs here. And let's see. Right above where I am here, you can see this is Fangraphs defensive ratings for shortstops. Very early. As with all these stats, it's very early. With defensive stats, I think even the smaller sample you have, kind of the less real they feel. Again, we're just going to roll with it. I don't care. Jorge Polanco has been in terms of Fangraphs defensive ratings, one of the best defensive shortstops in all of baseball, when in the past he's typically ranked as one of the bottom shortstops in all of baseball. I think he's looked really good over there to me. I think, he's never going to look like a Gold Glover, probably, but he's made all the plays. I don't know if they're positioning him differently with a shift or what. Josh Donaldson is hurt now, but when he was in there, he's a very good defensive third baseman. Whoever's been filling in for him of late, whether it's been Marwin or A-Ray, I mean, you got to say that they have more range than Miguel Sano, that's for sure. So I don't know if it's a positioning thing, but Jorge Polanco is looking really good at shortstop, and that's a great sign for, obviously him, but the Twins pitching staff as well. If they can turn more balls in play into outs than they did last year, that's a big thumbs up. So there's the 3 up. Before we kind of move on to the 3 down, I kind of just wanted to give a quick thumbs up to say thank you. The channel just recently surpassed 350,000 views, which is just amazing. So just a quick thank you to some regular commenters I see on regular occasions. Brody F, Mike S, Chaz, Kate T, Daniel L, Austin H, Zach H. I'm sure I've missed a ton of commenters, but thank you so much for watching this channel and supporting it. Seeing the numbers go up has really been fun. So just wanted to mention that before we move on. Let's move to the 3 down now. Despite the Twins playing so well, there are still some trends that are pretty concerning. So the first down trend, Mitch Garver, here we are at Baseball Savant. You can already see, none of this looks good. This is all below average. And obviously the overall numbers really show he's been struggling. Just a 582 OPS. His strikeout rate has jumped from 24.2 to 37% of at-bats that he's striking out in. I've noticed that it's not because he's chasing. He's actually, let me switch this to all pitches. He's actually chasing pitches less frequently than he did last year. It is in the zone, swing and miss. So pitches that are in the strike zone, he has swung at and missed a lot more than he has in the past. So that is a concern. It's early. A lot of these guys are kind of a little bit playing behind with, obviously the season being suspended and everything. Hopefully he starts getting in a groove, but certainly if you're looking at things to be a little concerned about, Mitch Garver's play so far is one of those things, in my opinion. Let's move on to the second item. So swinging back to Baseball Reference here, Luis Arraez. Luis Arraez is another guy who's been struggling. He's still, a tough out. He hasn't been chasing any more pitches. He's still got a great eye, great plate discipline, but teams are kind of attacking him. And right now, with him being such a ball in play hitter, he's so dependent on getting the ball in play. He's never going to hit a lot of home runs. You can see his batting average on balls in play was 355 in 2019. Now that's higher than average, but he also hits a lot of line drives. So if you hit the ball hard, you're going to have a nice BABIP. So far in 2020, his BABIP is 226. Just like with everything else, we're dealing with a small sample here, but if he can't find a way to have more of these balls in play drop in for outs, it's going to be a struggle. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on. And then again on Baseball Reference, one more down, the 3 down of our 3 up and 3 down. Jose Berrios' command, I would say, and really is kind of strike throwing. We'll scroll down here a bit. And, he's pitched pretty well. His last start, he only gave up 1 run over 6 innings. At face value, that's a good outing without any additional context. But he's a guy who's been spotted a couple big leads and really hasn't been attacking the strike zone like I'd wish, I guess I'd put it. His walk rate is up a bit. But more than that, his raw strike percentage. You can see in 2019, he threw 67.5% of his pitches for strikes. That's down to 61.7% so far this year. And pitches per plate appearance, 3.72 last year. That's down to 4.2 this year. So even without any additional context, that's a bit of a concern. When you throw in the fact that he's been spotted leads in a few of these games, you'd really think, if anything, you'd hope that would mean his strike percentage is up. His pitches per plate appearances are down because he's just attacking hitters. But again, just like we've mentioned with Garver, these guys are a lot of them, trying to get the feel. Some guys have started off better than others. I'd imagine, some guys just naturally get in the groove a little bit quicker. And then just this whole suspension thing is throwing things off. But those are 3 down trends that I think are worth definitely monitoring going forward.